towards during the last several years. In a few minutes, the 12 of you will take the oath of office and be commissioned. The oath is simple, yet profound. The responsibilities you carry should be humbling, because thereafter you each will represent the pride of the nation and the leadership of the Army. Charged with remaining steadfast, maintaining peace and national security, and also being prepared to win our nation's wars. With complete faith in your ability to fulfill the pledge you are about to take, the cadre, staff, and cadets of the Razorback Brigade offer our congratulations for your achievement and commitment. As each cadet is called forward, we ask the pending party, oathing officer, and first salute NCO to also come forward to your designated positions. Will Cadet Henry Neal please come forward? Major General Mark Berry, United States Air Force and Adjunct General for the Arkansas National Guard, will administer the oath of office.
Raise your right hand. State your full name. I, Henry Richard Neal IV, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States, and the Constitution of the State of Arkansas, against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and that I will bear true faith, and allegiance to the same, and I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation, or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the office of the office of which I'm about to enter, as a second lieutenant in the Army National Guard, in the state of Arkansas, so help me God.
Lieutenant Neal will be pinned by Kimberly Brackens and Susan Novell. Lieutenant Neal earned a degree in educational studies and has been selected to assess into the Arkansas National Guard and is branching into the Medical Services Corps. Sergeant First Class Thomas Roots, the United States Army, will render the first salute. The first salute symbolizes the acknowledgement of this lieutenant into the officer corps, along with all the respect and courtesy that accompanies his or her new rank. Tradition also calls for the newly commissioned officer to present a silver dollar to the recipient of the salute. Inside your program guide, you will find the history behind the presentation of the silver dollar. Will Cadet Madeline Beck please come forward? Major Tim Stitt, United States Army, will administer the oath of office.
Yeah.
I state your full name. Having been appointed officer
Okay.
in the Army of the United States, in the grade of second lieutenant, do solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which I'm about to enter. So help me God.
Lieutenant Beck will be pinned by her mother, Candace Ramos, sister, Gabby Sinet, and her husband, Sam Beck. Lieutenant Beck earned a degree in supply chain management with a minor in sustainability and has been selected to assess into the Army Reserves and is branching into the Quartermaster Corps. Ladies and gentlemen, I present Second Lieutenant Madeline Beck. Second Lieutenant Beck's father, Master Sergeant John Ramos, retired United States Air Force, will render the first salute. Will Cadet Benjamin Huey please come forward? Lieutenant Stitt, United States Army, will administer the oath of office.
Having been appointed officer in the Army of the United States, and grade second lieutenant, do solemnly swear I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. That I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which I am about to take hold.
Lieutenant Huey will be penned by his parents, Mark and Ann Huey. Lieutenant Huey earned a degree in geography and has been selected to assess into active duty Army and is branching into the Armor Branch. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Second Lieutenant Benjamin Huey. Second Lieutenant Huey's brother, Senior Airman Mark Huey, United States Arkansas Air National Guard, will render the first salute. Will Cadet Eric Jeter please come forward? Major Tim Stitt, United States Army, will administer the oath of office.
Raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Eric Jeter,
Having been appointed an officer in the Army of the United States
in the Army of the United States,
in the grade of second lieutenant,
in the grade of second lieutenant,
do solemnly swear that I will support and defend
do solemnly swear that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
That I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
And I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
of the office upon which I'm about to enter.
of the office that which I am about to decline. So help me God.
Lieutenant Jeter will be penned by his parents, Randy and Lonnie Jeter, and his brother, Garrett Jeter. Lieutenant Jeter earned a degree in political science and has been selected to assess into active duty Army and is branching into aviation. Ladies and gentlemen, I present Second Lieutenant Eric Jeter. Lance Corporal Reed Jones, United States Marine Corps, will render the first salute. Cadet Jeffrey Logan, please come forward. Cadet Logan's father, Major Darren Logan, United States Army retired, will administer the oath of office.
I, Jeffrey Lynn Logan,
having been appointed an officer in the Army of the United States,
having been appointed an officer in the Army of the United States,
in the grade of second lieutenant,
in the grade of second lieutenant,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely,
without any mental reservations
without any mental reservations
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties of this office
the duties of this office
upon which I'm about to enter.
upon which I am about.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Lieutenant Logan will be pinned by his father, Major Darren Logan, United States Army retired, his brother, Specialist Garrett Logan, United States Army, and his girlfriend, Lindsay Bertram. Lieutenant Logan earned a degree in both international relations and Middle Eastern studies with minors in both Arabic and geography, and has been selected to assess into active duty armor and is branching into the Signal Corps with a branch detail of armor. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Second Lieutenant Jeffrey Logan. Lieutenant Logan's brother, Specialist Garrett Logan, United States Army, will render the first salute. Will Cadet Matthew Lund please come forward? Captain Justin Becker, United States Army, will administer the oath of office.
In the grade of second lieutenant, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which I'm about to enter. So help me God.
So help me God.
Lieutenant Lund will be pinned by Amy Lund, his mother, Chris Lund, his father, and Chrissy Lund, his stepmother. Lieutenant Lund earned a degree in criminal justice and has been selected to assess into active duty and is branching into the Signal Corps with a branch detail of armor. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Second Lieutenant Matthew Lund. Master Sergeant Anthony Cabot, United States Army, will render the first salute. Will Cadet Jawan Mitchell please come forward? Captain Justin Becker, United States Army, will administer the oath of office.
Here I am after me. I state your full name.
I, Jamal Marsden,
Have been appointed an officer in the United States.
have been appointed officer of the United States,
In the grade of second lieutenant.
in the grade of second,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign
take this obligation
freely,
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well
and that I will
faithfully discharge the duties
faithfully discharge the duties
of the office upon which I'm about to enter.
of the office upon which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God. Accept.
Lieutenant Mitchell will be pinned by his brother, William Mitchell Jr. Lieutenant Mitchell earned a degree in educational studies and has been selected to assess into active duty Army and is branching into the Quartermaster Corps. Ladies and gentlemen, I present Second Lieutenant Jawan Mitchell. Master Sergeant Christopher Beamon, United States Army, will render the first salute. Will Cadet Nicholas Norwood please come forward? Lieutenant Colonel Charles Fidel, United States Army retired, will administer the oath of office.
I state your full name,
I, Nicholas Martin Norwood,
having been appointed
having been appointed
an officer of the United States
an officer of the United States
in the grade of second lieutenant,
in the grade of second lieutenant,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution
that I will support and defend the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic.
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
that I take this obligation freely,
I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion.
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
And I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties of the office which I am about to enter.
the duties of the office of which I am about upon.
About to enter.
Not myself.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Lieutenant Norwood will be pinned by his parents, Master Sergeant Michael Norwood, United States Air Force retired, and Mrs. Rochelle Norwood, as well as siblings Neatrick and Natoya Norwood. Lieutenant Norwood earned a degree in both international relations and Middle Eastern studies, and has been selected to assess into active duty and is branching into the infantry. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Second Lieutenant Nicholas Norwood. Master Sergeant Michael Norwood, United States Air Force retired, will also render the first salute. Will Cadet Tiffany Fan please come forward? Major Tim Stitt, United States Army, will administer the oath of office.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your full name. Having been appointed an officer in the Army of the United States in the grade of second lieutenant, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. And that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which I'm about to enter. So help me God.
and is branching into the Medical Service Corps. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Second Lieutenant Tiffany Family. Master Sergeant Christopher Beanland, United States Army, will render the first salute. Will Cadet Wilburn Shaw please come forward? Major Thomas January, United States Army, will administer the oath of office.
I state your full name.
I, Wilbur Shaw,
Have been appointed an officer in the Army of the United States
have been appointed an officer of the United States
in the grade of second lieutenant.
and grade second lieutenant.
Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
And I will bear true faith and allegiance
And I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same.
to the same.
That I take this obligation freely,
That I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion.
or purpose of evasion.
And I will well and faithfully
That I will and faithfully
discharge the duties of the office
discharge the duties of the office
upon which I'm about to enter.
on which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Lieutenant Shaw will be pinned by his father, Specialist Robert Shaw, United States Army retired, his mother, Melinda Gibson, his sister, Angel Shaw, and his girlfriend, Chelsea Nichols. Lieutenant Shaw earned a degree in history and has been selected to assess into active duty and is branching into the Military Intelligence Corps with a branch detail of infantry. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Second Lieutenant Wilburn Shaw. Master Sergeant Anthony Cabot, the United States Army, will render the first salute. Will Cadet Emily Summerall please come forward? Major Tim Stitt, United States Army, will administer the oath of office.
I state your full name.
I, Joy Dawson,
Having been appointed an officer
having been appointed an officer
in the Army of the United States
in the Army of the United States
in the grade of second lieutenant,
in the grade of second lieutenant,
do solemnly swear that I will support and defend
do solemnly swear that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
upon which I'm about to enter.
upon which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Lieutenant Summerall will be pinned by her parents, Todd and Cindy Gray, as well as her brother, Andy Gray. Lieutenant Summerall earned a degree in nursing and has been selected to assess into the Army Reserves and is branching into the Army Nurse Corps. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Second Lieutenant Emily Summerall. Master Sergeant Norman D. Harvey, United States Army retired, will render the first salute. Major Tim Stitt, United States Army, will administer the oath of office.
Raise your right hand. I state your name. Having been appointed officer in the Army of the United States in the grade of second lieutenant, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which I'm about to enter. So help me God.
So help me God.
Lieutenant Williams will be pinned by his parents, Bobby and Jessica Williams, and his brother, Sean Williams. Lieutenant Williams earned a degree in management with a minor in finance, and has been selected to assess into active duty Army and is branching into the Finance Corps with a branch detail of infantry. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Second Lieutenant Robert Trace Williams. Master Sergeant Christopher Beamon, United States Army, will render the first salute. Will the rest of our newly commissioned lieutenants please come to the stage? Please join me in a round of applause for the 12 newest second lieutenants in the United States Army. Thank you. Please take your seats.